when the game on the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too legit.
There's a lot of you don't know about the fantasy headlines. Nation. Headline Nation. Fantasy headlines for the nation. I'm a headliner. I'm a headliner.
Yo. Analytics off the chain, all the channels not the same. Jake and Kyle, you know the name. Headliner Nation, we running the game. Y'all stuck on third down. Your content's plain Jane. Headliners on top now. We gonna move and change. Podcast off the rip. Draft guide, so legit. Fantasy world, our game tight. You know we about that chub life. Stuck in a rut and you need some motivation. Head to the channel for this Headliner Nation.
I'm a headliner.
And things are going to look a little weird here for a second because my camera isn't working. And I don't know why. My camera is not showing up right now. However, I could go to this screen and it shows up. This screen it shows up on. This screen it does not. So if we were doing a break right now, we would be good. If we're talking fantasy football, we would not. I mean, I guess I can just do this. I don't know, chap. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not sure why it's not working. Ricky, appreciate you. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there. Sorry for the technical difficulties to get the show started today. The camera's also a little on. We got to go this way right here. Just a little bit. It's warm here, so I'm going to keep that door popped open. I don't know. I'm not sure why it's not working. I might have an idea. Here. What up, Ethan? Becoming a member for the 17th month. Appreciate the support, Ethan. Video capture device. We are going to add an existing. We fixed it. Because that's what we're good at. Because that's how we do it around here. Hopefully everybody's doing well today. Hopefully everybody's having a good Thursday. My Thursday, I'm treading a thin line right now. Bella, check yourself. Welcome into the exclusive Headliner Nation family. Thanks for joining up and becoming a member of the Holden Chubb tier here on YouTube. I'm walking a thin line right now in terms of my day. Unfortunately, my daughter last night tested positive for COVID. As far as we know, that this is the first that it's made its way into our house. No fever. Congested, like a cold right now. Hoping that's where it stays. She does have some medical things that are a little bit of an issue, so we do have to keep a close eye on her. So we'd appreciate it if everybody kept her in your thoughts today as we kind of navigate this this sickness here in the Richardson household. I've been feeling sick. This is day 4 where I've just felt, that kind of just like gross, like kind of achy feeling you get, and you're like, ugh. Like, I know when I wake up tomorrow morning, I'm going to be sick. You know that feeling? This is day 4 of having that. So I actually took it myself thinking maybe I had it. I was negative. She took one, she was positive. So I'm just, I'm hoping I don't get it. My son's feeling all right now. He just got over a bout with a chest infection. Same thing for my wife. So she's just getting over that. I've been pounding my AG1 though from Athletic Greens. Yes, I have been. I've been pounding my AJ1. So I'm hoping that keeps me going good. I'm pounding that vitamin C right now. I'm taking my vitamin D. Just hoping I stay healthy. I really don't want to get sick. Bella, that sucks to hear. I know that all too well though, because one of the things my daughter faces is epilepsy. So I do know how scary that can be. So hopefully she's doing all right today and you guys made it through that all right. I was going to do something and now I forgot what I was going to do. I'll figure it out. It's okay. We'll make it work. We're going to be talking some prize picks. I'm kind of all over the place right now. I was going to do one thing. I was going to do another. Then I got caught. And I'm just all over the place. So we were going to talk a little prize picks today. Talk the Super Bowl. Ben, gifting a membership. Ben, appreciate you. Thanks so much. Keeping the streak going. Ooh, Q, don't say that. Don't say that. No, we don't want that. We don't want to wish injuries for any reason whatsoever. Ben's got a super long streak going right now of gifted subs. He's out here just gifting away. This is going to be loud for a second, I think. So, prize picks. Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. We're already working towards getting our prize picks in. What was I going to do? I'm trying to find out what was I going to do. I'll figure it out later. What prize picks do you have? What prize picks am I doing? We're looking through several different things. See him entering his belly? What? Over on completions for Patrick Mahomes. I think there's a couple of good ones. I've been looking through them a little bit. I think there's a couple of good ones for sure that we can end up using. And let's hop on over. Let's start taking a look. Well, let's take a look. Let's go to pass yards first. Obviously, the first thing that you have to do is you have to take the free square. Patrick Mahomes over 0.5 passing yards. Obviously, you got to take the over on that right away. Boom. Lock that in. You got to do that more than everything. I think the pass yards are very interesting for Jalen Hurts. I don't think that they are low enough at this point yet that I'm willing to take the under there. But I do think we see a potential where if the Eagles can keep the game close, we're going to see them throw less and less. And so it all goes into, do you think it's going to be a close game? If you think it's going to be a close game, I don't think Jalen Hurts hits 238.5 passing yards. He's only hit it once in his last 5 games. He did also come close against the Giants with 229. I would like that number to go up. I would like it to be a little bit closer to like a 245, so I could take the under there. But really, the Eagles, I would have to assume part of their game plan is run the football. Keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. Limit the amount of times he's out there. What do you mean you lost 5 picks with the free from Burrow? Please, Kenny, please do not tell me that was when they faced the Bills. Please don't tell me that was what the free square was, okay? I don't know what the free was from Burrow, and I don't know when it was, but they're always super low, so I don't know how you could have lost unless something crazy happened. But anyway, his average passing yards over the last 5 games is only 207.2. So if it's a close game, if the Eagles are going to be competing, if the Eagles are going to be out there in a close matchup, I really feel like we're looking at a situation where, yes, this game is close. And we see them run the football. Keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. Don't let him and Andy Reid play around with your defense too much. I know you trust your defense. I don't want them putting themselves in a situation though where they have to win a shootout. Could they win a shootout? Yes, they could. But it's not to Philly's strengths. Oh, all the other didn't. Okay, Kenny. I was like, how did you lose because of that? So anyway, I think Jalen Hurts is an interesting one. 238.5 I think is close. And just for the fact of, it worries me because if Kansas City does get out in front and we see them having like a 2-score lead for a good portion of the game, Hurts is going to have to throw more often. Patrick Mahomes, he was listed at 285.5, but again, you get the free square there, so that one doesn't really matter. Let's go to rush yards, if it will let me. Jalen Hurts over 46.5 rush yards. Yes, I do believe he gets himself over 46.5 rushing yards. I do believe, because again, I think part of this is going to be, let's limit how much we're throwing the football, and let's limit how quickly we're giving it back to the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's run the football. Let's go right at them. Let's go right at their defense. Jalen Hurts running the football, I think, is going to be a big factor in this game. Yeah, it's been 3 games since he's hit that total. But he's at 44.8 over his last 5 games, so he's really not that far off. Only 1 game where he missed it by quite a bit. That was 13 against the New York Giants. So I don't mind 46.5. That's not a bad one right there. A lot of people talking about Miles Sanders in the chat. 60.5 rushing yards. I don't think that's one that I mind a whole lot either. Averaging 58.2 over his last few games. So that's a very, very close number right there. When you're taking a look at rushing yards against and how Kansas City has been this year, Kansas City against running backs, Mediocre, like kind of right in the middle. In terms of rushing yards, they have allowed, though, for just rushing yards, the 8th fewest rushing yards to opposing running backs this season. The 8th fewest. They've also only allowed 6 rushing touchdowns this year. And again, part of that is because if Kansas City gets up on you, you can't run it nearly as much. Now, teams averaged the 4th fewest rushing attempts against the Kansas City Chiefs this year. There was only 322 rushing attempts against Kansas City this year. That was 4th fewest in the league. Litnick becoming a member for the 15th month. Well, look who it is. A man talking about prize picks when us, the followers, pick Kyle as our prize pick because he's a damn prize. LMAO. What's up, dude? Sup, headliners? Nick, appreciate it. Thanks for coming a member for the 15th month of excessive chub. Make sure you get that checked out here pretty soon. Okay, normally they only say 3 hours. You're going on 15 months. So Miles Sanders rushing yards over 60.5. I don't mind that one either, but I do think that one is close. I wish that would fall a little bit. I kind of wish that would, if they put that in the mid 50s, 55, 56, I think I feel a little bit better about that. Yeah, it's only 5 yards, but I think I feel a little bit better about that. But again, he's going to be right in that area, I think. I think it's going to be a very close one. Is it a lock by any means? I don't think it's a lock. I do not think it's a lock by any means. Oops. Dropping stuff. I think an interesting one is Isaiah Pacheco as well. I mean, this is a guy that they're running the football with Pacheco. Obviously, when you talk about teams going up against the run, the Eagles have been just as good this season stopping the run as Kansas City. They've actually allowed more rushing yards this year than what Kansas City has. They've allowed more this year than Kansas City. Now, they've also had more rushing attempts against them by about 22, it looks like. But I think Pacheco is going to be another interesting one. I think when we look at 48.5 yards, he's averaging 54.8 over his last 5. Went way over against Jacksonville with 95. Close against Vegas. Close against Seattle. Didn't hit it against Cincinnati. Well, Zach, I'm just saying it for the fact of saying that they're not that far off. I'm hoping people understand what I meant by that is that this is a game that there could be some troubles running the football. I think they're going to need to be able to win the game, but there could be some times where you find yourself just not being able to move the football on the ground, and you're going to have to get a little bit of creative with things. So those two are interesting. A guy like Jerick McKinnon, I think there's going to be some people that are going to rush to put in some Jerick McKinnon props. Running the football is not one that I would take. Yeah, he had 25 yards against Jacksonville, but he's had single-digit rushing yards and all the others. So don't do a rushing prop with Jerick McKinnon. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you want to do something like receiving yards, you could. Miles Sanders is so low at 4.5. I would love to take the over on that and just hope that maybe he gets like a little dump off. But I'm not going to risk that. I think one of the more popular ones will be Travis Kelce, over 77.5 receiving yards. I think that's going to be a pretty popular one that people are going to take quite a bit of. The Eagles this year, going up against the tight end position, right in the middle of the pack. 732 receiving yards allowed at a tight end position. Literally like right in the middle of the league. So they're okay against the tight end position. Nothing crazy there. When you take a look at Kansas City, they're only a few spots higher. They've allowed 820 receiving yards, so nothing crazy that stands out there to me in terms of like taking the overs on these two guys. I think 77.5 is pretty appropriate. When you take a look at it, obviously in 3 of those games, one, that last game, barely hit it. Got over against Jacksonville, not against Las Vegas, not against Denver, and then well over against Seattle. But Seattle was one of the worst teams against tight ends this year as well. I do think if Kansas City is going to win, though, Travis Kelce is going to have a huge game. I think he's going to have a huge game. I think the next one that people might... A.J. Brown, I mentioned A.J. Brown a minute ago. Obviously, way over 103, 97, 95, and then dropped back to 22 and 28 the last couple of games. Some of that has to do with the leads that the Eagles have had against the Giants in San Francisco. So 69.5 receiving yards. I'll take the over on that, Nick. You know who you are. Nick is smashing the over right now. Actually, I feel like Nick is trying to smash the let's take exactly 69 receiving yards on A.J. Brown. So I'm taking the over. Because, again, kind of matchup dependent the last 2 games. You know, Eagles having decent-sized leads, not really having to throw the ball an awful lot. 28 and 22 receiving yards respectively because of that. I'm taking the over, and I'm hoping that they do throw the football a little bit. Now, you can take the over because some of you might be asking, well, why are we going to go the over on A.J. Brown, but you're going to go the under on Jalen Hurts? I mean, you could take the under on Jalen Hurts and still take the over of 69.5 receiving yards. Because if you talk about getting 80, 85, 90 yards, I think that's well within the range of outcomes here where he doesn't have a huge game, but he's got enough to get over that mark right there. I think one that a lot of people should consider is Marquez Valdes-Scantling. This is a shot in the dark pick, all right? We're hoping for one big play from MVS. Now, if you're going to be sitting down and putting in multiple prize picks entries, if you're going to do like a high risk, high reward one, MVS could end up being one of those guys. I feel like a big play could end up happening here. They're going to be, they're going to be paying a lot of attention to Travis Kelce. They're going to want to make sure that they don't lose sight of Juju Smith-Schuster. I think that one big play from MVS could be enough to get over that 35.5 easy. Barely. And against the pass this year, Kansas City right in the middle, but Philadelphia's been good. 4th fewest receiving yards allowed to the wide receiver position. I'm kind of staying away from the wide receiver props. Again, if you're looking at kind of like a shot in the dark, like a little high risk, high reward payout, then maybe you do like an MVS. Okay? But other than that, I'm not really trusting it a whole lot unless we're going to try and take the over on Travis Kelce. Philadelphia has just been way too good against the pass and wide receivers this year. And they just spread the ball around so darn much. They spread the ball around so much. Kalafa becoming a member of Excessive Chubb in the Headliner Nation family for a 21st consecutive month. Unable to participate in prize picks because of location, but still love the content. What's up, Headliner Nation? No days off swag. Let's go. Appreciate ya, Kalafa. Yo, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have your prize picks account set up yet, we are giving away a $500 credit to prize picks. $500 to prize picks. We're going to be picking a winner after the Super Bowl. So make sure you have your Prize Picks account set up, prizepicks.com, or not Prize Picks, Pristine Auction. We're giving away a $500 credit to Pristine Auction. Excuse me. $500 credit to Pristine Auction. Make sure you have your Pristine Auction account set up. There you go. Have your Pristine Auction account set up using code word headliners. You're going to get a $10 off coupon, but then on top of that, you're also going to be getting an opportunity to win that $500. And we have a few signed jerseys still hanging around from the season that people did not claim. So you'll get to pick one of your choice, and then you will still have that $500 credit. Also, if you didn't notice, we do have a sponsorship with Athletic Greens now. So if any of you out there are looking to potentially use Athletic Greens, use our code headliners. Do that. One thing I'm thinking of when I look at receiving yards right now is taking a look at some of these dual ones and seeing if there's anything there that I like. A.J. Brown plus Juju Smith-Schuster. I don't know if I mind that one all that much because you're taking a look. At what do they have it as again? A.J. Brown plus Juju is 113.5 receiving yards. And let's just say, again, we're looking at 85 yards from A.J. Brown. Then really the only thing that we need to get is 28.5 receiving yards from Juju. That's a pretty strong get there. So do I like Juju's prop of 35.5? Not really. But if we like the over on A.J. Brown of 69.5 and think he could go upwards of 85, 90 yards, then I think we're smashing the over on A.J. Brown plus Juju Smith-Schuster. Because now we're lowering that over prop essentially on Juju from 35.5 to 28.5, and I'll take the over on 28.5. I'll do that. Because he's got 23.8 over his last 5 games. He's right in that area here in these last few. Six Char, appreciate you. Thanks so much for supporting the channel. Guillermo! Gotta make some money, baby. Gotta make some money. Let's take a look at, let's kind of go through a few of these receptions. If we feel like Philadelphia is going to get down, then I think the over on Kenneth Gainwell could be a smart one. If we feel like Philadelphia is going to be playing from behind, I think like Kenneth Gainwell could be a smart one. Isaiah Pacheco hasn't hit it in the last 3, but he's had 2. I kind of like the the Jerick McKinnon one here. With McKinnon, you know, I mentioned it a few minutes ago. Don't mind me, I'm just yawning. I mentioned it a couple of minutes ago with the Philadelphia Eagles defense. Fourth fewest receiving yards allowed to wide receivers this season. So if we feel like there's going to be any type of a struggle in the passing game to the wide receivers, Jerick McKinnon becomes that much more valuable to this team. The Eagles right in the middle of the pack in terms of receiving yards allowed to wide receivers this season. The Eagles have allowed 542 receiving yards to to running backs this season. good for 31 yards a game. And then in terms of like actual receptions, they have allowed 86 receptions to running backs this year. So if you got 86 receptions to the running back over a 17-game schedule, that's just over 5 receptions a game. The Jerick McKinnon over on 3 receptions, I like that. I like that. I take the over. I take the over on Jerick McKinnon. I'm feeling pretty good about that one. The other one that I really liked with receiving yards was A.J. Brown and Juju going over there. So those are kind of the 3 that I've looked at so far, and I've said I kind of feel the most comfortable. Now realize that I'm using what terminology I'm using there when I say I'm most comfortable with and I'm most confident in. Okay? There's 2 different word usages there, okay? 2 different word usages there. Okay? Confidence and comfortable. All right? When it comes to the Super Bowl, anything can happen. So with these picks, am I confident in them? The Patrick Mahomes one? Absolutely. Over 0.5 passing yards, I think we're good. Jerick McKinnon over the 3 receptions. A.J. Brown plus Juju over 113.5 combined receiving yards. I feel comfortable with those. I feel comfortable with them. Scott. Mahomes outrushes Hurts in this game. I don't see that happening. I do not see that happening. Yes, I think that ankle is feeling better. But remember, those high ankle sprains, they can take 6 weeks before you're back to really being able to go out on the field again. Mahomes went out there the very next week. Obviously was sore. Obviously was limping at times. He's had the week off, thankfully. I just don't think he's going to be doing too much running. Could he hit the over of 18.5 rushing yards? I think so, because he could pick that up on one play late in the game. Now, he's only hit that once. In the last few, he has 8 rushing yards in 4 of the last 5 games. Very, very weird. But Patrick Mahomes isn't a running quarterback like Jalen Hurts is. Jalen Hurts has specific designed running plays for him in this offense. Patrick Mahomes does not. Patrick Mahomes can scramble, he can move, and then he can pick up yards with his feet if he wants to. If Mahomes outrushes Hurts in this game, I would be surprised. I really would. If Kansas City has Patrick Mahomes outrushing Jalen Hurts, they are in trouble. They are in trouble. The Eagles D at 2.5 sacks. Kenny, I take the over on that. Because again, if Patrick Mahomes' mobility is limited at all, they could absolutely get to him. Absolutely they could. They do have QB hits on here, and they do have sacks on here. 2.5 sacks for both of them. I think the over on the Eagles here is good. QB hits at 5.5 or 5 for the Eagles. I think we take the over on that as well. I don't know if I'm going to get into any of the defensive stuff too much. Okay, here's the main question I have, though. Where's the Gatorade color? Where's my prop on the Gatorade color? Okay? Where's my over-under on the national anthem? Where's that? Huh? Huh? Let's keep looking. Nick, you're going with purple? Punts of 50-plus yards. Fantasy scores. I'm not sure I'm a fan of any of these rushing plus receiving yards here. Passing plus rushing yards at 288.5 for Jalen Hurts. I like that there. Taking the over. Total yards from Jalen Hurts. I'm going to go with the over here on Jalen Hurts. Because again, he has the over against the Giants. He has the over against the Giants again, or against Chicago. Then he doesn't hit it with only 242 against the Giants there. But again, that was his first game back after missing several weeks. Okay. And then against the Giants and against San Francisco, game script didn't cause him to need to go that high. Game script didn't cause him to go that high. I'm taking more there. Because I think one of the reasons I like the over here, but I'm not a fan of the over in passing yards, because we could miss the 238 here and still get the 288.5 here, especially if you think Jalen Hurts goes over the 46.5, which we've already talked about and believe that is a good scenario. Umbrella, Ella, Ella, A, A, A. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not it's not that I don't like Rihanna. I don't have anything against Rihanna. I don't listen to Rihanna. I don't know very many of her songs, so I couldn't tell you. First downs allowed. Kick return yards. .13.5 rushing attempts from Miles Sanders. He's only been over that twice in the last 5 games, but he's been really close in the 3 games that he missed on. He missed it by 1, then he missed it by 2, then he missed it by 2 again. Averaging 14.4 over the last 5 games. Again, I think if you take a look at this and you say Miles Sanders is a guy that we're going to have to run the football a little bit with, because that's the way that we're going to win this game, I think he's got to go over the 13 rushing attempts. But again, if you think that you're going to get down, if you're anybody out there that thinks that the Eagles are going to be losing this game by more than 2 possessions, then we're staying away from those rushing props. That's all there is to it. For commercials and other stuff, I honestly, Tam, I don't do those, so I don't know for sure. To be honest with you. A lot of people think the Eagles are going to win. Okay, I see you there. Griffin, you're a few hours late, but yes, KD went to the Suns. I don't know. Some of the other games so far this season, Like, I think we were able to find some really good props. I think I hit, like, all but one of my props that we talked about in the division or in the wild card round. In the divisional series, I think we hit a majority of those as well. I didn't do the championship games. I don't know. I'm looking through all these right now, and I'm like, what do I feel good about? Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce play 5. Well, it's funny that they put Jason Kelce in here as well. LKB, top 4 tight ends are what? Like, are you asking me to rank the top 4 tight ends? Right now, we're talking about the Super Bowl and Prize Picks. So that would be something for a different show. Chuck, have you not learned anything from the last live stream? Get your mother on the phone. Where is she? I need her number right now. I didn't go over Dallas Goedert's yards. I don't know if I'm loving that one. It's at 47.5. 47.5. Don't hate it, don't love it. If you had to put your money on a tight end having a bigger game in the Super Bowl, you got to put your money on Travis Kelce. You don't ever bet against Travis Kelce. That's fine, Chuck. I need to know her work number, please. I might need to call her. Be like, hey, do you know what your son's doing right now? And she's going to be very creeped out that a 34-year-old male is calling to talk about her middle school son. So you just be careful out there. 47.5. It's close for me. It's close. Now, here's the thing. I do think Dallas Goedert is the number 2 target for Jalen Hurts. I think he's got eyes for Goedert. Yep, he didn't come close to this with only 23 yards against San Francisco. A lot of that had to do with game script. What up, Andrea? But 58 against the Giants, 46 against the Giants, 45 against New Orleans, 67 against Dallas. Devontae Smith is at 60.5. Again, 113 and 115 without Dallas Goedert, or with Dallas Goedert coming back and not being 100%. And then with Dallas Goedert coming back, 67, 61, and then it dropped to 36. I think this 60.5, again, it depends on what you're looking at. If you think this is going to be a close game, I don't know if Devontae Smith hits 60.5 receiving yards. If he does, it's from a big play. If you think Devontae Smith is going over 60.5 receiving yards, I think we need to assume that the Eagles will be trailing in this game for a portion of it. Yeah, Chuck, that absolutely could happen. I mean, that's essentially what happened against San Francisco. Those 36 yards shouldn't even be up there because he didn't catch that ball. He didn't catch that ball against San Francisco. That was an incomplete pass. He dropped that ball. So the 36 yards you see there should have an asterisk next to them. Jeremy, if you think it's going to be a close game, 60.5, it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close. I would like to see this prop a little bit lower. If it was more in like the low to mid 50s, I would feel more comfortable with that. I understand why it isn't. You know, but a couple of those big games at the end of the season, a little bit different. And you have to remember that a couple of those big games came with Gardner Minshew and not with Jalen Hurts. So those are all close there. If Devontae Smith doesn't hit the 60.5, I think Dallas Goedert hits the over on 47.5. I don't think both of them hit the over in this, though. If both Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert hit their overs, the Eagles are effed. I'm going to be very honest with you. If the Eagles have to throw the ball enough to get Dallas Goedert and Devontae Smith over, and we think A.J. Brown is going to have a decent game, the Eagles are screwed. They are screwed. We have pass TDs and we have rush TDs. We do not have receiving touchdowns. No receiving touchdowns. We do have rush plus receiving touchdowns, if you want to go that way. Like Devontae Smith, Jerick McKinnon, I think that would be a decent one. I don't think the Eagles are going to be running up the score. I mean, if they are up, if the Eagles are up, they're not running up the score. They're running the football and they're playing their game. Their game is not to throw the football and run the score up. The Eagles aren't trying to do that. The Eagles are trying to win this game. They're not trying to embarrass Kansas City. If they put themselves in a mindset that they want to go out there and embarrass Kansas City, they're going to lose. I don't know if I can bet against A.J. Brown here. I don't think I can. I mean, we got a Miles Sanders plus a Boston Scott touchdown over here at 0.5. Tampa Bay. I mean, this was also all the way back in week 4 of the season, and they were on the road. And I don't think Tampa Bay was looking to embarrass Kansas City. Kansas City just didn't play a good game. If Clyde Edwards-Helaire has... Listen, Clyde Edwards-Helaire is out of sight, out of mind for me in all facets of life. For many reasons. I don't even think Clyde Edwards-Helaire has been cleared to play yet. Because last time I said that they were going to have him practice, but they were not sure if he was going to be able to play. So we don't even know if CEH is going to be active. I mean, if you think Kenneth Gainwell is going to score, there's a good A.J. Brown plus Kenneth Gainwell prop here. Rushing plus receiving touchdowns. You could take that for sure. I mean, I personally think that we're going to have a close game. So I think 31 passing attempts from Jalen Hurts. I might hit the under in that. On points scored, what's the over-under set at for total points? I don't think they have that in here. What do they have total points for the game? I don't think Philadelphia is going to do a Philly special. That's a Doug Peterson thing. I don't think Sirianni's going to want to do that. I mean, I think this one is tough. I think there are a lot of props that you take a look at, and it's very game script dependent. It's set at 50. I could see the under there. I might have went out there for a second. But I'm back now. I should be back. I think YouTube cut out there for a second. Yeah, I should be back. Do we know if Mahomes and Kelsey will be healthy? Kelsey, I think it's fine. Mahomes is. I guarantee that Mahomes is still banged up. I guarantee that ankle's not 100%. Guarantee it. Will he be on the injury report? I don't think he is. Hurts isn't really hurt. He was hurt a few weeks back when he missed those, what was it, 3 games, 2-3 games, whatever it was, to end the season before coming back in week 18. So he's not, I wouldn't say he's hurt. I would definitely say that he's maybe still a little bit banged up. Just because his last name is Hurts. Chuck, this is why you need to go back to school. If you're telling jokes like that, I need you in class. Okay? I need you in class. No more skipping. If you skip, I'll time you out in the chat. It still doesn't sit right. I mean, I think Andy's going to want to... I think Andy is going to want to beat his old team for sure. Educated. But, chat, we have been live for 58 minutes now. I think we found ourselves some decent props to play this week. And I think a lot of these props are really going to depend on what you believe will happen this game. If you believe that this game is going to be close, then as far as the Eagles go, I think we're really taking a look at the over on Jalen Hurts rushing. We're taking a look on the over of Miles Sanders rushing. We're taking a look at the under of Jalen Hurts passing. If you think that this is going to be a game, if you think this is going to be a game that Kansas City is going to walk away from or be up by multiple scores through a large portion of the game, then at that point you got to take a little bit more of a look at those passing numbers. And we have to take a look at the overs on a Goddard, on a Devontae Smith, on a A.J. Brown. As far as like the wide receivers go for Kansas City, I'm essentially taking really kind of the under on everybody. Unless you think there could be like a big play for a Marquez Valdes-Scantling, then maybe you take the over there. I don't mind the overs on Jerick McKinnon. We had him at over 3 receptions. I don't mind that one at all. I definitely see this game being a defensive battle of sorts. Maybe not the entire game, but at least to start the game, I think we could really see these defenses. I think maybe Philly comes out on offense first, plays very well, maybe scores on one of the first couple of possessions, takes an early lead. That Kansas City defense settles in a little bit, gets a little bit more in tune with what's going on with the offensive game plan. Kansas City's offense, maybe they start out a little bit slow. Patrick Mahomes starts to get himself that ankle a little bit loose. Then they start to roll a little bit now that they figure out the defense. Now you're looking at a game where, we're maybe 7-0 Philadelphia at the end of the first. And then now we see kind of a storming back, maybe like a 10-7 with the Kansas City Chiefs leading at halftime. 10-7 there. Coming out in the second half and staying very close the rest of the way. I personally am still leaving my pick with Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, they've been here before. Travis Kelce, they have veteran leadership on the defense still. They've been in this position so much. When you take a look at the Philadelphia Eagles, there's only it's either 3 or 4 members on that team that were on that team when they won the Super Bowl last. So there's not really a whole lot of teams that have been kind of through the pressure cooker, or not a whole lot of players who have been through the pressure cooker since then. Jalen Hurts, for as well as he has played this season, he's going to have to step up, and he's going to have to play big in this game. He's going to have to make some big-time throws, and he's not going to be able to make very many mistakes. Okay? I think you're going to have to find a way to beat Kansas City down the field as well. I think Kansas City's going to make them beat them down the field. They're going to try to cause pressure. They're going to play contain on Jalen Hurts, but they're going to make him beat them through the air. They want to make Jalen Hurts be uncomfortable. And Jalen Hurts being uncomfortable is becoming a one-dimensional pocket passer. And that's not a knock on his skill set at all. If anyone takes it like that, then clean your ears out. It's not a knock on his skill set. It's who he is as a quarterback. And he's very good playing like that. He's very good when he can decide whether to run or not. He's very good when there's the element of surprise with passing, when they can do some of those RPOs, some of those play action type things. That is when that offense is the best. If you turn it one-dimensional and you force Jalen Hurts to beat you through the air and become a guy that has to stay in the pocket and throw from the pocket, that is where things will start to get bad for Philadelphia. There it is. That's my breakdown of Super Bowl 57. We talked about a lot of props today. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, if you're interested in getting your $500 or winning a $500 credit to Pristine Auction, make sure you head over to Pristine Auction, sign up for a free account, use code word headliners. You're going to get a 10% off coupon right away when you use that code word at checkout, or not at checkout, just creating the account. And then on top of it, you're going to be entered into our $500 giveaway for Pristine Auction, and you're also going to get your choice of one of our autographed jerseys that we have left over from this season. Been doing the bookends there, gifting a membership to the Fantasy Headliner family. Appreciate you. Puddles, as long as you signed up with our code word, it doesn't matter when. As long as you've used our code word, it doesn't matter when, you're good. You're good. If you have a Pristine Auction account, but you signed up and didn't use our code word, then you would have to create a new account. A new account with a new password. Or not new password, a new email, excuse me. Also, for any of you out there that have ever used Athletic Greens before or interested in anything like that, we just started a new partnership with Athletic Greens. We encourage you to go check them out, see what they're about. Use our code word Headliners when you check out there as well. Yeah. Appreciate everybody. Hopefully you have a good rest of the weekend. Hey, keep us in your thoughts this week as we battle COVID in the household. Hopefully we can make it through this weekend. I can stay healthy so I don't have to be feel nasty for the game. I really don't want that. And then I'm hoping that my daughter gets back on her feet and feeling very well. But appreciate everybody. I'm out. Have a great Sunday enjoying the game this week. I'll catch you all in the content next week. Peace out, stay safe, and stay healthy, and I'll catch you all in the next episode of the Fantasy Headliners. Later, everybody.
When the game on the line, you can't fold and you can't bend. Y'all be playing it safe and I be going for the win. Remember back when they was doubting on the kid. Now they tuned in cause my game too